Hot tracks on the beat.
Meet up in New York City. I am Abby Harris, your host today.
What up, what up? Welcome to Beyond the Blockchain. I am your host, Abby Harris. Good morning. Welcome to Beyond the Blockchain podcast. I am your host, Abby Harris. We do this each and every Monday where we have a dope founder, dope guest come on and share some insightful information, talk about their project, talk about everything that is going on. This is Beyond the Blockchain, and I like to thank everyone for tuning in. Look, I'm a little scruffy today. It's all good because, it's the start of the week. At the start of the week, you have to be prepared for what you're trying to do. And I've been posting this advertisement for a whole week because it's very important that I always like to talk to the people who are actually doing the things that they say they're doing. There's a lot of people who are in the Web3 space and they just talk fluff. But this gentleman, Dayo, is not talking fluff. He actually raised money. He started GLASS.xyz as a platform that's been pumping for the last few years. I'm excited about it. I'm excited actually to bring this to you guys, especially because music is very important within the space, right? The importance of music is in this space has a very huge thing on. So it kind of threw me off. Excuse me, I'm thrown off because I got the phone call. But what I'm trying to say is that these companies, just like we dealing with Universal Music Group and TikTok, and they decide they pull their music, and then the artists who have made their careers on these platforms feel some type of way because of Universal Music is pulling the music. And like I said, there's a lot of talent that has been created within TikTok, within the space, and this is just another platform that is direct from consumer to customer, right? From entrepreneur to customer. So you're having direct access, whatever your artist that you're dealing with, you have direct access to supporting the artist by using these tools. But we're going to definitely get into everything that's happening within this interview. But like I was saying, our first guest, the founder, is GLASS.xyz. And it doesn't make any sense if I don't come in here and I show you the website and show you the amazing things that they got going on GLASS.xyz. Owning the value of a video. Like, imagine if you can actually own a piece of Jay-Z or a piece of Nas or something like that. See, the direct-to-consumer is a path that cuts out the intermediary, the person in between, which is the record labels. And we already know that they shade and shape and direct this thing to where they want. And as we seen yesterday in the Grammys, Jay-Z had plenty to say about this. And it was interesting that he finally, even though he protested against the Grammys a few years ago. He wouldn't go and all that. But now his wife is there and he has an issue. Jay-Z launches an attack on the Grammys for never giving wife Beyonce Album of the Year despite records of 32 other wins. And some say nominees will be robbed tonight and some will have never been nominated. But let's hear what the Jay-Z, the GOAT, has to say himself.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won Album of the Year. That doesn't work. Some of you gonna go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you may get robbed. Some of you don't belong in the category. I don't want to embarrass him.
Absolutely, and that is what's going on. Is by your own metrics, right? His own metrics, he's got 32 wins. So it doesn't make any sense that she doesn't have album of the year. It doesn't make any sense that Universal Music can dictate to artists what they can and cannot do within the space on how they make their money. You know, I just feel like using technology is very important, especially when it comes to music and film. And that's one of the reasons why I did reach out to Dayo to make sure I get him up on here. You know, I always start off with prices of the day. We're still trading in between above 40,000, which is a good thing. I hope you dollar cost averaging in. Like I said, like I like to scroll down through these prices because these are things that you kind of need to understand what's going on within the space. Today is Monday. Y'all gotta excuse me. I had a long night yesterday, long morning. Oh, there go my coin. One of my coins in the green. Where the other one at? Oh, there you go. They're in the green, guys. Where's iota and helium? Look, helium. Helium's in the green. 725. There's something else we missing here. One more. Iota, we in the red. Still 24 cents though. I have this thing about trading, right? We all know that our whole economy, everything that we have done in this space, is based off of algorithms, right? We all know that everything is based off of algorithms. Nothing is legitimately going viral anymore, right? This thing is happening because of algorithms. That's all I can say. It's all algorithm. So in the state of trading, right? Why not use a bot? That's what I need to know. We all know this thing is based off of algorithm trading. Everything is algorithm. That's why they tell you just to DCA in. Dollar cost average. Every week put in a little into the kitty. Excuse me. Because it doesn't make any sense to try to beat a computer. We cannot beat a computer. So this is actually an article. You can actually check it out. It's on Medium. This gentleman used ChatGPT trading bot to beat 99% of Wall Street investors. Excuse me. This is a no-brainer. Number one, this cuts out a lot of things. One, it cuts out greed, right? It cuts out temptation because you're not trading based off of emotions. These are not emotional-driven trades, or these are not emotional-driven thoughts. It's driven by the bot. So it's emotionless. The bot is not feeling, oh, I need to make more. The bot is not feeling that. The bot is saying, hey, this doesn't make any sense. This makes sense. This is where we're going to trade. It went up this. It's guns and butter. We back to guns and butter, baby. We are back to guns and butter. So if you decide to trade, I suggest you go find a bot. And once again, I'm not giving you financial advice whatsoever. But if you do decide to trade, I suggest looking into bots and figuring out how bots can actually help you. Now, this is good news that GoDaddy charges $0 for ENS. An ENS is your ETH name. People can actually send you money through your ETH name. So if you want to be into some type of Web3 tech business or you want to do some type of transactions and you don't want to have this long 18-digit hashtag number, you can actually get your business name in an ENS. And when people pay you via crypto, they just send it directly to your name, and it will never be confused, never be lost, because it will be your name.eth. Like mine would be beyondtheblockchain.eth. So anytime you want to support the Beyond the Blockchain, you just send it to beyondtheblockchain.eth. When it asks you for that address. But this is a good thing. GoDaddy, Ethereum name services. But this is only if, I just feel like everybody has some type of data. Everybody needs some type of domain name or website. everybody for something or whatever. You can also use type of tools like Linktree and so on and so forth. As we are moving on, I got this app that I like to use. It's called Max AI, and it it summarizes things for me. So I don't have to do all of this technically reading or reading all of this stuff out. It will definitely summarize this. Unlocking Bitcoin potential to introducing Maryland chain a native L2 solution. So we all know that there's very minimum, a little, not a lot of things. Let me rephrase my words. There are not a lot of things that are built on top of Bitcoin. We definitely know ordinals. NFT ordinals are built off Bitcoin, and we see what they're doing. So to find a company which is a layer two, which is a Bitcoin is layer one. Maryland chain will be layered on top of a layer one, and that's why they call it layer two. So according to Bitcoin's network congestion dilemma, because there's a dilemma in BRC 420 tokens. I'm not going to get into the details of this. I'm just going to say this makes it something, it makes it a little bit easier. Do your own research. I'm just going to leave it at that because today is very important. We got Dayo is going to be a guest on Beyond the Blockchain podcast. And we're just going to basically just get into the interview. There's a lot of stuff happening within our space. I've been talking about these for a little bit minute, Apple Vision Pros. And like I said, today is Monday, so let's not even wait no more time. Let's just go ahead and get into this interview. This is Beyond the Blockchain podcast. And let's go. Let's start. Okay, what's up, Dayo? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good, AV. I'm good, man. It's been a minute.
It definitely has been. Since the last time you seen me, there's been a lot of stuff going on. But I didn't move to Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah, I'm back in Atlanta. Cause
Back in Atlanta. Abby back in Atlanta. Okay.
yeah. And I started my podcast. So this is what I do all day, all night. You know what I'm saying? This is like, you know what I'm saying? So I figured that just to take my platform and what I'm doing and just, I got a lot of resources and contacts and connects. So why not, right? So,
Love that.
so let's just start because I don't know how much time you got, but I kind of want to get into some stuff. I got some questions, but what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Beyond the Blockchain podcast. I'm your host, Abby Harris. This week's guest, we have Dayo, co-founder of GLASS.xyz. Dayo, welcome. I always start off with the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why. And because not to just establish a brand and a company, but just to establish where you come from and what your inspiration and your drive is. That's why I like, because a lot of people see the finish line, but they don't really see the struggle, the idea, the concept, and all of that. So I want to get into all of that and just go ahead and start introducing yourself.
Thank you so much, Abby. I mean, we had a kindred connection, when we linked up in New York City above the Supreme store at a once in a lifetime moment, when Empire Dad was just starting up. So, it was one of those moments in life where you just had to be there when we linked up. And
Yeah.
and that can never be, duplicated again. So just, your energy, I always feel it from a distance. And when you hit me up to get on the pod, I said anything for Abby. This is one of the most futuristic, ancient people I've met in my life. So I said I gotta hop on the pod.
Start. Okay, what's up, Dayo? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good, AV. I'm good, man. It's been a minute.
It definitely has been. Since the last time you seen me, there's been a lot of stuff going on. But I didn't move to Atlanta. Um,
Really?
yeah, I'm back in Atlanta. Cause
You
I,
back in Atlanta? Abby back in Atlanta. Okay.
yeah, and I started my podcast. So this is what I do all day, all night. You know what I'm saying? This is like, you know what I'm saying? So I figured that just to take my platform and what I'm doing and just, I got a lot of resources and contacts and connect. So why not, right? So
I love that.
so let's just start because it's start. Okay, what's up, Dayo? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good, AV. I'm good, man. It's been a minute.
It definitely has been. Since the last time you seen me, there's been a lot of stuff going on, but I didn't move to Atlanta. Um,
Really?
yeah, I'm back in Atlanta. Cause
You
I,
back in Atlanta? Abby back in Atlanta. Okay.
yeah, and I started my podcast. So this is what I do all day, all night. You know what I'm saying? This is like, you know what I'm saying? So I figured that just to take my platform and what I'm doing and just, I got a lot of resources and contacts and connect. So why not, right? So
I love that.
so let's just start because I don't know how much time you got, but I kind of want to get into some stuff. I got some questions, but um, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to Beyond the Blockchain Podcast. I'm your host, Abby Harris. This week's guest, we have Dayo, co-founder of GLASS.xyz. Dayo, welcome, welcome, welcome. I always start off with the five W's: who, what, when, where, and why. Um, and because not to just establish a brand and a company, but just to establish where you come from and what your inspiration and your drive is. That's why I like, because everybody, a lot of people see the finish line, but they don't really see the struggle, the idea, the concept, and all of that. So I want to get into all of that and just go ahead and start introducing yourself.
Thank you so much, Abby. I mean, we had a kindred connection, when we linked up in about the Supreme store at a once in a lifetime moment, when Empire Dad was just starting up. So, it was one of those moments in life where you just had to be there when we linked up. And
Yeah.
and that can never be, duplicated again. So just, your energy, I always feel it from a distance. And when you hit pod, I said anything for Abby. This one of the most futuristic, ancient people I've met in my life. So I said I gotta hop on the pod for sure. And I'm also doing a pod as well,
Nope.
uh, called Black called Black Leaders Podcast as well. And I see Abby as a true Black leader, visionary, Web3 connoisseur, before it was even a normal thing, someone who, was doing life logs, live streams, and all types of futuristic content methods and taking us there. So appreciate you and that you're still going on that journey because it's a lifelong journey. And I guess that leads me to who I am and what my lifelong journey is, which I've had a lot of revelations in the last 2 years. I just turned 25 in June.
Congrats.
And 25 is a life-changing year, I feel like. But I was born in Chicago and south side of Chicago, University of Chicago Hospital. Spent about 6 years there, and then followed my dad and my mom, and they moved to upstate New York, Albany, New York. And then from Albany, New York, I was there for another 6 years while my dad was at RPI. I was playing all types of sports, winning all types of competitions, spelling bees, math. And then when I was 12, my dad and my mom were like, "All right, you got to go to Nigeria." And that's when I was like, "Nah, like no way, like I like I can't go to Nigeria right now. I'm just living the American life right now." Um, and then I went to Nigeria when I was 12, and so from 12 to 14, I was at a British international boarding school in Lagos, Nigeria. It was like the first time I was experiencing getting D's, C's on a daily basis. Like it was a very hard, just environmental adjustment. I was like one of the only American accent speaking kids there. And so they were like, "Who is this kid?" I was just kind of a misfit, even though I'm not. My dad's Nigerian, my mom's American, and my mom was born in St. Louis, Missouri. Uh, and my dad was born in Nigeria. And uh, they met in Coe College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And um, then, next thing you know, I'm all the way back in Nigeria. I'm sent over there. I'm getting acclimated to all these new kids. And really, my way out was soccer. Like if I wasn't good at playing soccer, I probably would have had a terrible experience overall. But I had soccer, and I had my older brother who was also over there at the time. And he went to Nigeria around like 16 to 18. So I was 12 to 14, a little bit younger. And then after I got back from Nigeria, I got to my family moved to Manhattan, and I went to school in Brooklyn, and so like Hell's Kitchen area, Manhattan. I went to school in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, for about 4 years, and then I went back to college at University of Chicago and that's when I really started my entrepreneurial journey at University of Chicago.
Quick
Uh,
question. Quick question. Because I want to back you up a little bit. Coming from America, going overseas, how was the transition of just dealing with people? Because sometimes you hear it like we black, we walk in the room, we the only black people, we feel that. But now for you, it's reverse, right? So I want you to talk about that experience a little bit.
that I think it's one of those experiences that I've had that I think like it's a pioneering experience. A lot of black people are having this experience. We're about to have this experience, whether we know it or not. But when I step down, like in Nigeria, like the first thing you feel is just the heat. It is so hot getting out that airplane. So you get out that airplane and you literally get slapped in the face with this type of heat that like it's like Miami, like on a really hot day. And so you're like, damn, like it's already immediate effect, right? Then you, when I got to school, it's like everybody looks like you, but they're totally not like they don't share the same, you know, I guess jokes. They don't share the same aspirations. They don't share the same like ideas. Like it's all different kind of. And then you're like, oh snap! Like everyone kind of looks like me, but they're actually totally different, right? And then because I'm 12, right? So this is like a young kid, right? And then it's like, they say like sometimes like, just you kind of develop who you are from like 12 to 14. I'm over there and like I remember one of my first my so I had four roommates and I'm living in this dorm with four kids and like one of them was Namdi, another one was Goke, and like I had another one, I forgot his name, but I remember like not even being able to pronounce their name for like a whole like first month, and like they would violate me every single time I did it, right? So it's like anytime I spoke, like everybody's sensors would go off, and they would be like, "Yo, this kid's not from here." Like, why is he don't, he don't, and so they're like, yo, this kid is a little different, but at the same time, it's like everybody thinks I'm just a Nigerian boy that's been here the whole time, but I'm actually not. And so I kind of learned, two things that like really stuck with me, which was like one is that even if people look like you, like if they don't have the same background experiences, like it's kind of like it's kind of they don't really know you and they don't really know like what you're about, and it can be very hard to connect. But also, even when people look like you start to realize more about who you are, and you start to realize more about where you really come from, and you start to realize that you're actually a part of this dynamic, adaptable, ancient community, spiritual, like just connection
Hmm.
that really soccer kind of helped me connect with, like, it's like you're balling and you're communicating through playing soccer, and they're like, yo, that kid's nice, and so you figure out how to adapt, and then you realize, wow, like we are mad good at adapting. Like if there's one skill like all black people probably have that is untouchable is their ability to adapt to a new circumstance. And so then like those so then next thing I know, I'm already acquainted. Next thing you know, 2 months in, like I'm that guy already. So it was like, I went from crying that first night with a wasp net around my bed. Dudes are like, "Oh, he gonna get malaria," and 2 months later, I got like my whole friend group. I got my South African guy, I got my Nigerian guy, I got my British Nigerian guy, I got I got you already got your guys like that quickly. So it's like when you're young, you accept and appreciate that like you're adapting 24/7 when you're young. Like a little baby is adapting all the time, totally fine. Especially a little black, African little baby's probably like at the speed of light adaptation. And you really forget that like we're like the most multitask, capable, adaptable, determined thing, like maybe species of all time.
Yeah.
So
Now,
that
now it's
was really
funny
good.
that you say that because being in the space that we're in and we walk into these rooms with all this tech and all these people and a lot of people don't look like us, it's almost like the same thing. So your journey from as a child has developed you into this co-founder you are now to be able to adopt.
Yes, yes, yeah, and that's 100%. So like, right after I did that, I knew I could adapt to any place in the world. And then like, there's Nigerians in Switzerland, there's Nigerians in freaking Australia. There's not like it's like then you start to realize like, James Baldwin was like a solo dude in like I don't know some random place in Norway or something like that, the only black person in the town. So it's like black people have been adapting everywhere. I don't even know how long this has been happening, but you could pretty much go anywhere as a black person and adapt and figure it out. Um, and you really just have to get over that like first couple days of crying or first, that first couple days of being like, yo, where am I? Like these people don't understand me to just like fully be coming into yourself, coming into your craft, just learning and just showing people that you can learn at the most rapid pace. You can adapt. You can just out achieve. You could go Giannis on the bus, and so Giannis coming from Greece, or whatever. So it's like black people are everywhere. African people, West African people, East African, South African, North African, like just they're everywhere. And now that experience made me realize that like our our one of our biggest skills is speed of adaptability.
That's dope. That's dope. That is a good chime in into the next part. So you started college, you back over on this
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, so I start college, and even before I got to college, what I really wanted to do was create a real-time map because I felt everybody was connected, but like I didn't feel like we had the right connection products. Like it was really Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. And so I wanted to create this real-time, globally local map that could kind of help, you find out what's popping in your city or what's pot like what food truck can I go to, what mall, what coffee, whatever. a typical idea. I think everybody probably has it when they're in the shower at some point in their life. And then I was like, nah, I gotta go and do that. Like I really need to figure out what's going on. So my second year of college, I go to this fraternity. I join a fraternity in college, and then like I'm at this random convention in Lexington, Kentucky. I get totally wasted. I'm like passed out next to this pool, and I'm like, yo, man, like where is the nearest Chipotle? Like I'm mad hungry. and and that led me on like a 3, 4 year journey with my first startup, which was called Spot. Spot was, literally like 30 to 40 iterations of just like this personal AI map. It started off with a chatbot where, you could like type into the map, like, yo, what should I do tonight? The map would just show you like places around you that you could go. Um, this is right around the time OpenAI started. So this is 2016, 2017, 2018. At the time, I didn't know I was under resourced, considering OpenAI had $100 million nonprofit to make that chatbot. And I was, a college kid, uh, just struggling. And so I just kept building it. Eventually, we got it to like around 10 schools. And this one school in Arizona, like, made it go crazy where like people were like posting like all types of content on the map. At that time, it kind of looked like a Twitter list, a map above, and then like a chat, and then you would like roll up and you'd scroll through the Twitter list. You could click, then you take to go to where that tweet is happening on the map. um, that kind of blew up, and then we did another iteration, and it was more like TikTok, where you're swiping through the map and just seeing what people are the crowdsource information people are posting, and that's when we were like, "Fuck, we've now ran out of money." And I raised $230,000 to do that startup, and it was valued at around $5 million. And like University of Chicago's was one of our investors. They were one of our first customers. I had a bunch of food trucks, Phil's Coffee. I would go around the whole campus just selling people to add their business to the map. And then COVID hit March 2020. And so I did that after 2017 to 2020. COVID hit. And then we knew we needed to figure something else out. And that's when we said video is probably like writing. Video is the new form of writing, like in the 1500s, and writing changed the world. We got all this misinformation in these writings. There's so much false writings out there that people just hold as truth. We don't even know who the original author is, right? I don't even know how old writing is. And so I just saw video as like, this is clearly going to be impactful for at least another 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years. So I was like, all right, like let's get involved in video. And then we found out a way to do decentralized video, right? Then after we found out how to do decentralized video, which is literally just having multiple servers instead of just one YouTube server, or 3 Netflix servers that are hosting all these big Netflix movies. What if you could have a bunch of people holding these servers for you to upload your video and anyone can see it? So like pretty much anywhere in the world, you're getting really fast bit rates per second because you're connecting to a local laptop, a local computer that is helping you get that bandwidth. And so that's really how we started. And then we realized like, yeah, decentralization is cool, but like making a lot of money on your videos is even cooler. And that's what people care about even more. And so then we were at like Paris Hilton's crib in LA. This is like 2021, and me and my co-founders, they were building, designing, building. We didn't really get a lot done, but we were able to start raising money. So we raised like around a million, like 1.4. We brought all of our investors from Spot over to the new project, so it was a pivot from Spot to Glass, and um, then we didn't really do much that summer, and then right around the fall we finally did the first live stream, and it was a live stream, a decentralized live stream. Me, my two co-founders, we put 15 NFTs at like 0.15 ETH, and we sold all those out and we made $10,000 in 20 minutes. So
Mm.
then I was like, oh snap. Like I already knew live stream like because I watched this one movie called People's Republic of Desire, and it's like this Chinese live stream movie. And so I did know like the most money on the internet is being made by live streamers. And like I knew that in 2018, 2019. But when I made $10,000 in 20 minutes, I was like, whoa. Like live streaming, like you could really just sell collectibles of the live stream moment and make mad money, and that's what Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, Acho Speed, all of them are kind of doing now, and they're the richest people, I guess, from the internet, and so we dropped that live stream. Then after we dropped that live stream, I hit up my friend was connected with Salem Marley, who's Bob Marley's granddaughter, Lauren Hill's daughter. And I
Mhm.
was like, bro, like why do people even buy that? They bought it because I was taking a shot every single time someone would, buy an NFT on the live stream, and I was just being entertaining, and it was a specific moment, where it was the first live stream like with NFT collectibles, and so some Web3 founders bought that. Like we were gonna do it with D Gods. We were gonna do a live stream release with D Gods at the time. Like there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Um, and then a month later, we dropped our first video NFT,
Mm.
and that was with Sailor Marley. We had done a decentralized video with Arweave as well, but that wasn't monetized. And then when we started to monetize the video NFTs, that's when people were like, "Oh, these guys are making money off this. Like, that's kind of cool." And that's when it got the public interested versus just the weirdo, like Web3 crypto only decentralized guys.
Yeah.
And so the Sailor Marley music video makes $25,000. Like, so
Mm.
she sells that for like 5.5 each. And so her music video gets what 1,000 views on YouTube, right? So she probably made like 2 cents to 4 cents. And then on my thing, and then on Glass, our thing, she's hitting $25,000. So she posted that on her IG live, and she had like 180K followers, something like that. She posted on her IG live, and then immediately after that, uh, my boy 27 Deli, who's ASAP first little brother, is like, "Yo, I gotta drop next." Right then, 27 Deli drops next. He makes like 10, 20K off of like 3, 4 drops. So then we're like, "Whoa, guys are running it up on this on this glass shot." So that after that, we started running it up, and then my friend had a wedding, this like 4-day wedding in Tampa, and another friend from our fraternity was his brother managed Lewis the Child, and because the Web3 community is predominantly white, and it's like the creators at the beginning and the investors, they're most of them are white, and so it was typically white collectors, buying these things, because they had the money to, and so I was like, you know what, like who would be the coolest like white guy I could probably get, and so I was like Lewis the Child would probably be fire to drop with, and so then his manager is like, we can't get Lewis Child, Joey, but we can get 2 Feet to drop. And I didn't really know who 2 Feet was, but 2 Feet had like 1 million subscribers on YouTube, huge Brazilian audience. He made like a bunch of songs that people like, and 2 Feet dropped, and then he sold his music video NFT as 101 for 11 ETH. And
Mm.
at the time, 11.11 ETH. And at the time, 11.11, like at the time, like that was like $50,000 for one
Mm.
music video,
Mm.
and he already got like 500,000 views or whatever on YouTube for that video. But I knew he wasn't making $50,000, and so once he made 50 bands on that, that was when that's when it became us as the leading and the leading video NFT marketplace in the world. I threw a cool event for NFT with my seat. We had Marky Basie there, Latasha, Rome Fortune, Halik Mall. That got shut down because because we were too lit. I got banned from public after that, but it's funny. I actually just DJ'd at public though in September. But yeah, like after that, we just flew off. And so that led us all the way to Timlin drop. Then after the Timlin drop, Timlin made I think like 20 ETH or something like that on his drop. And once Timlin did that big drop, that sent us up to the max. But there was issues that came, and a lot of bad things started to come after that, and the idea's still gonna work, but there was some difficulties, and we're still in it right now. Um, which I can talk about later, but that led us to Timbaland, and yeah. So my what was,
Hold up, hold up,
I
hold
thought
up,
videos.
hold up,
Yeah,
because hitting Timberland is like the pinnacle. That's like the top of all top, the cream of the crop inside of the
yeah,
music business
yeah,
industry. Period. So
yeah.
leading up to Timberland, I know your heart was racing. It's like I need to close this. That's see, because people always hear the good, with break it down.
So okay, the Timbaland job was crazy because Timbaland. So I think it was Board Ape Fest. So
Mhm.
Board Ape had a fest in New York City, and
South
Timbaland
Street
had a
Seaport.
Board Ape. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And Timbaland had a Bored Ape, and I think Eminem and Snoop Dogg had like just dropped one of the first like Bored Ape music videos. This wasn't an NFT; it was just a pure music video on YouTube. And then Timbaland was like, "Yo, like I gotta drop," and we had just dropped with Ryan Tedder from Run Republic and Kygo. And so Timlin, Ryan Tedder told Timlin, "Yo, I dropped this music video NFT on this product called Glass. You gotta hit up these kids." And so he hit me up. Right. So next thing I know, I'm in a group chat with Timlin, and I'm like, "Oh my god, like what the hell's going on?" He's like, "Oh, we got FaceTime tomorrow." And so it's a Friday. The whole day I'm just preparing for this Timlin FaceTime. And then he hops on the FaceTime, and it's Timbaland, Zayd, and me. And he's just like, "Yo, man, like everybody knows that like I'm the one who sets the path to the next generation." And so I'm like, "Yo, like Timbaland is him, just think about like Timbaland in the studio with Jay-Z when he's like, only I could produce that beat," or like when he's when he's in the studio with Ye. So he's like, "Nah, like this is some cold stuff. Like this is some real next level stuff." And I'm just like, "Yo, like Timbaland is on the way. Like this is crazy." And so he's like, "Yo, I made this whole Unreal Engine like VR AR video with my Board 8, and I want to drop it as one of the first Board 8 music video NFTs ever, right? Like the first animated music video NFT ever." And I was like, "Let's run it."
Wait,
like
before
like like
before you go any further, when I hear that, that sounds like copyright infringements. That sounds like a whole bunch of stuff that falls
we had
into
all
place.
that.
And that just it sounds exciting, but now I'm here. I'm like, Bored Ape, Timberland. I'm like, this sounds like a headache.
It is a headache. It is a headache. Everything we we already had copyright infringement from somebody's husband, or somebody's divorced husband was like, "Oh, my ex-wife can't put that video up. I shot that video, right? A cease and desist letter." So it was already nuts. Like it was already crazy every day for real, because it's like, of course nobody wants you to create this disruptive technology. It's like if someone's making 2 cents on YouTube but $25,000 on Glass, why would society want that? Especially with a black founder doing it. Um, and so people did not like it. And we didn't necessarily have the answers, honestly. It was just like we thought it was some next level stuff. And so Timbaland was like, "Yo, let's drop it." I got like 48 was allowing him to get the IP, right? And so he could go and monetize that IP. So he was trying to show people this is the creative level of thinking you have to get to have a character and monetize that character, right? A music video NFT is a path. A music NFT is a path. Uh, a brand collaboration is a path, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we were just one of those paths. Then we hop on a group FaceTime with a team. Then, we're doing a pre-prep for the Twitter spaces. So we kind of invented the Twitter space into the video drop. And then everybody just started doing Twitter spaces into Music and NFT jobs, Twitter spaces to all these jobs. Because this was right after the Clubhouse wave too, which I thought, audio is also that next level. I also see audio, what Clubhouse and Twitter spaces did as, you know, slightly less impactful than video, but super impactful. Um, and so Timlin was like, "Yo, like I want to do a Rug Radio Twitter Spaces with Farouk, and we want to pack that out. And I would be on the Glass channel doing the Twitter Spaces. We'd bring up some people to ask questions, and then we would sell that video like during the whole Twitter Spaces. And Timlin wanted to do like I think $1,000 per edition with 100 editions. And then one of my co-founders was like, because the market, this is like 2022, like that's low key bear market. Sorry, uh, that's low key the bear market the whole year, right? 2022, and then uh, and so we were like, I don't know, like $1,000 is a lot, but I can't tell Timbaland I can't tell I'm not gonna tell Timbaland nothing, man. So I was just like, all right, like let's run it. And then my co-founder was able to convince him down to like 500 or something like that per edition. So eventually we get down to like 50. So we get down to 100 editions at like I don't know, like $500. And so um, we hop on the spaces, those editions start flying. He's already made like $30,000 in like the span of 2 minutes, right? And we're all talking on the space, and the video wasn't it's an Unreal Engine video with a Bored Ape, and it's not even like Timbaland's greatest hit. This is just like a new song Timbaland did with another artist, and um, because of Timbaland's status and his reputation, it's gonna sell. That's what we knew. Coming
Yeah.
into the creator economy, this is about the person. This is about the creator. This is about the royalty, the status of that person at that day.
Yeah.
Based off of what that person's done. And so it doesn't really matter what they release. It matters about who they are, what they've done. And so we knew it was gonna sell because of that. But I mean, I wouldn't say it was the craziest video, or the best song from Timbaland, but it was selling. And so that was selling. Everybody in Board Ape was retweeting it. Everybody in our community was retweeting it. And so he really brought a lot of communities together, and that permanently changed the game for music video NFTs in terms of making it more mainstream. Um, but it didn't fully even sell out though, and I think that could have been because the quality as well as just because the bear market though, which just showed me that like the cycles matter. And so once I learned that the cycles matter, that's when I started to get into what I'm doing now. So I mean, like I'm still a co-founder of Glass. It's still a product anyone can use. But now I'm focusing on benefiting off of these crypto cycles so that we can have more black collectors, more black investors, because things aren't going to change from being a founder. Things are actually going to change from families, from finances, and from investors. And so, like, there's a lot of things that are happening in black society that I feel I want to focus on now that I can change. There's a lot of misconceptions, like like business and family doesn't mix. Biggie said that. I don't agree with that. Look at the Stripe brothers. Look at the Rockefellers. Look at all these families. Look at the Rothschilds. Look at the families here in the world that clearly are families. The Medici family, the Getty family. You go to the Getty Museum. Uh, all these museums are family-based museums. So I think we're learning new things, and I'm a Gen Z. I'm one of the oldest of the Gen Z, and I think what I've learned up to 25 has set me for this new level we're about to go to, which is like focusing more on the family, focusing more on that atomic unit of force, and focusing more on understanding cycles like waves and how the world really operates, which is going to help you really benefit. I think all these new channels, these new shows, Glass was just an example of, okay, anyone can monetize their own channel.
Hmm.
Anyone, and YouTube was an example of everybody should have a channel. And cable in the 70s with BT, was, oh, black people want a channel, and Jewish people want a channel, and so now as the world gets more and more fractal into the specific channels, and each person can actually monetize and actually sustain, whether it's 50K or 100K, now they have to understand that, like, because we're such a multi-talented people, we should know how to invest. We should know how to do the cycles. We should know how to do a podcast. We should know, like, every business should have a podcast component. Every business is going to have a video and video NFT component. Every business should have a potential audio chat live stream component. Like, these are the new components of the new businesses of the digital age. And now I want to start, I've started investing, and right now my focus is on the bull market. This is a generational bull market when BlackRock gets into Web3. Like, you can't make more money and you can't change your life more in any way than a 18 to 24-month bull market. Like even my startup, we went from 5 million, 15 million to $50 million valuation. We raised from Coinbase, we raised from a bunch of great people. Um, Even then, you can't make more money during your startup than you can if you invest properly during a bull market. Like, say you could just get a job, and if you invest properly, like, you could get a job for all 2024, invest properly for all 2024. By 2025, you're gonna get a 20x on the $20,000 you invested, or and next thing you know, you're at $400,000, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can continue your job, figure out something else. But I made the most money investing while I was doing Glass. So I said, hey, like, they're not investing in NFTs. I lost most of my money buying creators NFTs. But if you invest in coins and you go from that perspective, and you invest in stuff that's gonna be here,
Hmm.
you're gonna make the most money in crypto. Crypto is the fastest growing asset class of all time, and I'm just grateful and lucky to be a part of this. And now I want to spread, the information like how Abby's doing it. I want to spread this information global, because it's like we're the pioneers of this. I think we need new leaders. I think we need new conversations. I think you want it. Like, now you can pool the family's money together and get a 20x
Yeah.
in 18 months, 24 months, whether Trump's in office, whoever's in office, you can win.
That,
It doesn't matter who's in office. I don't
I,
care. What we need to care about is pooling the the money together, and it starts with your family. After you pull the money together with your family, then you can go to your community. Then after you go to your community, then you can go to your city. Then after you go to your city, then you can go to your state. Then after you go to your state, then you can go to the black nation or whatever religious or larger community you might have. So I think that's where I'm at now.
that one thing that people creators, because I'm gonna bring that back to creators. One thing creators don't really understand is that technically they are a business. Um, I have this idea and concept to where, let's just say, little Ray wants to be in the music business or wants to be in the film business. A lot of issues come in because sometimes the family do pool their money to support them, but it's not financially laid out to where they can understand where the money goes and where it comes from and how it works. That was one of the beautiful things that I felt about having smart contracts and using these tools, because Uncle John, he gets his money in the street. he don't got no 1099s, right? But if there was a way for the family to pull their money to support whatever products creators that they birth, right? And then with that foundation, they able to build off of that. I don't think until this thing start opening up and they start giving us access to understanding retail investment and retail trading, and then all of a sudden a lot of people start understanding about trust and non-for-profit organizations and how to build establish family generational wealth. None of that was given to us, but thanks to internet and the computer and the information and the smartest things that we have in our life that a lot of people do not even use. This is your encyclopedia. This is your finance. This is everything right here. But you still go and
Exactly.
ask questions and have barbershop arguments that is not resolved.
And it's and Abby, that's why I love everything you do and everything about what you do and what you stand for, because it's like you just go out and just get that information. And that's the thing. It's like that the guy still on the street, you know, the people still on the street still talking. It's like that time is done. 2000 to 2019 is over. Like now we're in the 2020 to 2040 point where it's like, yo, if you're not curious about ChatGPT, if you haven't tried it out, if you haven't tried out Bard, if you haven't tried these things out, there's no one in the world that can help you. You are
Hold
the
up there.
issue.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Some people in the street still didn't recognize that even though you're taking Cash App, you still in the digital world, bro. You need to catch up.
How to catch up. And the thing is, it's like, so I've been watching some crazy stuff lately, but like we are the original digital people. Like I think the reason why, when I like Kai Cenat and I Show Speed are like those are the leaders of the digital streaming monetizing world. Like I think there's a reason why there's so many of us that are pioneering this digital stuff because I think black people are technologically highly sophisticated. Like me, like I've started to realize that if you really get down to your true um, capabilities, like if you really start to just take some time to focus, take some time to really think about like, why is Giannis dunking like that? Like why are we why is Victor Wembanyama 20 years old? He's coming out right now. Like why are these things happening? Why are we excelling across so many industries? I think it's because black people are inherently the most sophisticated technological people on this earth. And I think we don't even realize that like Lewis Latimer invented all these light bulbs, like, and that's some dude from Queens. Like we don't even realize that like almost all the doorknob, the street light, all these things come from these black inventors, and we just walk past all these things, and because people say it's Thomas Edison or because people say it's Rockefeller, it's like I think we're about to enter the most creative, the most technologically advanced. We're about to experience the great entrepreneurs. Like I don't think we've seen great entrepreneurs yet. Like I see Elon Musk as a colonizer. I see Elon Musk as someone that he's following the path of his dad's footsteps. His dad found, they come from the Netherlands. They found uh, gold, or diamonds underneath some black people. And they went and they said, let me go mine that. Like they said, let me go mine that. And now he's like, oh, let me go colonize Mars. Let me go mine that. And
You know, I've
so
been I've been I've been calling him Dog Vader lately.
I mean, oh, now he's on Twitter, and it's like who saved Twitter? Black Twitter is and now he's mining that to make AI chatbots. So like where I'm at is just like yo, like. we like the first step is mindset. And the issue is people don't respect people enough unless they're really rich. So that's why I'm like, okay, let me go and fully focus on getting as much money. It's like the founder stuff is cool, but the investor stuff and is really gonna help me fully focus in on like making sound investments and getting a lot of money. Then while I'm doing that, you gotta do the podcast. While I'm doing that, you have to still focus on improving the mind and letting people know that like it starts with the mind. You can't become a good investor without your mind, but they're only going to listen to you once you have the Bill Gates, the Elon Musk money, or even, the Jay-Z Diddy money, or even,
Yeah.
the Giannis money. So,
Yeah.
or the Kyrie money. And I think Kyrie's a great example of someone that like, it's like maybe black people are the original Jewish people. Like, what about the Ethiopian Bible? There's so much misinformation. So that's my worry that like, oh, ChatGPT is just surfacing all this misinformation at one time, and let alone the books. We
I
got we got books that are already misinformed and videos are already fake. Where I already see fake video ads every day, and I'm like, I know that's not Michael Saylor saying that. He would never say those things. And so I'm like, there's fake video ads. Like now people are faking the videos, so it's like we need to counter that. Like someone needs to fight that, and that fight has been going. That's a war that is probably 100,000 years old.
Yuri always asks this question. Two books, one that changed your life and one you currently reading now.
So I'm actually okay, it's perfect. So the one that changed my life is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I think that's a foundational book we got to read. Like I think everyone has to read that book. That is the get rich Bible. Like if that is the habit Bible. Like if you really want to just like get there and get long-term generational change, where it's not just, oh, like I became a sick actor,
Yeah.
and now, your family has to try to become a sick, like if you really want to create that actors guild, then you got to read Think and Grow Rich. The book I'm reading now is this book actually by David Stewart. He's from where my mom's from, St. Louis. He's actually the richest black person in America. And he has this book called Doing Business by the Good Book. And I don't really, and that's like about the Bible. I haven't necessarily read the Bible. I'm not very religious or anything. Um, but I believe in God, and I just believe in information and in myself, and I believe in other people. And, I think everybody has a God within themselves. And, we got to find that God within ourselves. And so I was reading this one, and it has 52 lessons on success straight from the Bible. And I think, the current Bibles people are reading it are 100% misinformation. But I do think that you can find good pieces of valuable nuggets in anything you read. I
Yeah.
think anything can have some truth to it. And so I've been reading this one, and I'm reading everything you need to know about the music industry because I also, love the music industry, and I'm managing their mess, who I found from Glass. He dropped a music video, so I'm helping a lot of like we helped around 300 creators, still dropping to this day over, you know, like 5,000 like collectors,
I,
tens
I,
and
I want to
thousands of
say
users.
something. I want to say something because we've been moving all over the place, but I got a chance to, and this is more so for the viewers. I got a chance to hang out at one of those drops that you guys have at XYZ, and it gave me, it gave me I don't know what year, but it gave me radio hype live. Like it reminded me of Stretch Armstrong Papito show back in the days. It reminded me of Mr. Magic. It reminded me of all the shows like all in once. Like how y'all pump it and advertise, how y'all pump the artists up. Like I thought that was like the most dopest dope and the most exciting launch with all type of projects that I've been seeing over there.
I appreciate you, Abby. And that's where we're going back to. That's just the start. Like it's like we gotta make these jobs hype again. Like I don't even want no Breakfast Club conversation trying to bring this artist down. I want to see Kai Cenat dancing with Nicki Minaj on a live stream with the whole family there, getting teed up. And next thing you know, everybody now confirms Nicki Minaj is the greatest female rapper, one of the greatest rappers of all time. So it's like if you have the truth in the building. Like we just need like Cat Williams. If we have more truth going on, Abby doing these, Web3 conversations. You've been here since the beginning. So it's like we need more real people in the game. I'm happy that I think this is how the general Gen Zs do feel. They do like this type of energy. Millennials also feel it as well, but they're struggling financially to make the change that they want to. And so they also have to balance that out. And baby boomers have the most money ever. So now we're like, okay, there's going to be one of the biggest wealth transfers of all time. The way you catch that money is through your investments. You feel me? You catch that money by being in before BlackRock, getting out, when everybody and their grandmother's in, right? And so that's how you catch the grandmother's money. When the grandmother puts the money in, you should be catching the money after you bought low and sold high. And so we need to understand when the markets go down, it's our friend. When the market goes up, that is our enemy, right? And just understanding how like bro, there's so many black people probably making hydrogen cars. All these electric cars are trash. I drove in a Tesla. It's a terrible experience. Like electric cars are not good for the environment. They need gas. Every single electric car needs gas and oil. We are being lied to about electric cars. Hydrogen cars are where it's at. Um,
Yeah,
and
I
and
like
I
that hydrogen Porsche. The hydrogen Porsche.
You gotta respect, and I didn't, because my last name is Adeosun, right? And so it's like that actually means the crown of the river, crown of the ocean, right? So it's like even a lot of we don't even know our real names. They took my mom's name, from her,
Yeah.
and my great grandmother's name from her. So it's like we gotta go take back. I think we're about to see the Take Olympics. That's what I'm calling it. And I think the wars that are happening, that they're not gonna stop. And they're very old wars. It's not like these are new wars. Like these are like it's not even a 70-year-old war. This is thousands and hundreds of that, like tens of thousands of years, these wars. So these wars are gonna happen, but we gotta understand it. Like, don't focus on like the Palestinian versus the Jewish war. Don't be focusing on the Ukraine war when who knows, your ancestor could be in Congo mining cobalt. Your long lost brother could be in South Africa getting annihilated, or in Namibia being dominated by 10 German families. There's wars all over where you actually care about. So I think we have to start caring more about our minds, caring about our people, and yeah, then we can win.
Last question. Do you meditate?
I'm I read, I don't meditate as often as I should, but I've been meditating a lot this year, and I just like to get into that meditative mode where it's like no music. Andre 3000, like he's on some, like he's on some
Hold on. I
so
just wanted to say something about that because somebody was like, "Oh, no music," and I'm like, you know what? If you really look at it, I don't know not one artist that decided to go into elevator music industry because it goes into elevator music, it goes into yoga classes, it goes into all these places that we hear it, we don't pay no attention to it though. But it's every.
mm,
You might be calling AT&T and it might be playing as a whole call.
and that's exactly like it's like what I think what Wyclef was like. I went to Bud Light and was like, "Yo, I got an album for you guys." Because like the best thing that comes with beer is music, you know. And so like, let's go push this Bud Light album, you know. And so it's like, or not Wyclef, Will I Am, you know. And Will I Am is one of those futuristic genius dudes, like the Black Eyed Peas. Like, come on. So it's like, you know, right now I'm DJing. I got this Black Leaders podcast. You know, Glass, we're still working on that. You know, figuring out, you know, do we sell it? How do we get this to this next level? Because we're still not, you know, in the same way crypto's in its like fourth cycle before it's really adopted. NFTs are only one cycle in.
Yeah.
So NFTs, video NFTs, like YouTube was founded in 2004. Gary Vee didn't get onto YouTube to 2009. Mr. Beast got on it in 2011. Right? Like Twitch was founded in 2004 by a black, you know, Michael Seibel, Y Combinator, is one of the founders of Twitch. Twitch isn't lit until 2020 when Kai
Mm.
Cenat's on there. So Glass will be lit. It'll take a long time, you know, but it's gonna happen, and it just takes time for music NFTs, all this creator stuff to really have a good sustainable business model will probably be like, you know, 2, 3 more cycles from now, which is at least 7, you know, at least 6 to 8 years, you know, but we're getting there, and you should start now.
Yeah. On that note, man, thank you for tuning in to Beyond the Blockchain podcast. I hope you got a chance to enjoy that interview. The funny thing today, I got a call from one of my good friends, and he was telling me that I need to slow it down, back it up, get a chance for people to understand what I'm talking about, how to get involved. Bet. So what I'm going to do is my next show tomorrow at 10 a.m. You can play the replay. I will start from the beginning, from scratch. From, let's just say, $100. You got $100 cash money, and you want to figure out how to get into Bitcoin. I'm gonna do it tomorrow, 10 a.m. Tune in from scratch. That's what we're gonna do. Which wallets you should get, how to store your passwords, what exchanges you should get on, like just the basic structure part of what I'm talking about. Because unless you in it, then you know what I'm talking about. But if you're not in it, and like I said, it's like out of 10 of my friends that we talk about everything in the world, one of the things that we don't talk about is this. So since I am going to be bringing this knowledge, this information, tomorrow pull up to be on the Blockchain podcast, and we will talk about what is going on and what I got going on. And on that note,
Our tracks on the beat.
Meet up in New York City. I am Abby Harris, your host today.
what up? Welcome to Beyond the Blockchain. I am your host, Abby Harris.